What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to Maps Exposed. This is the series where I share all of the lines of sight, as well as any other sort of jump spots and secrets that I know of on every one of the maps in Modern Warfare. And in today's episode, we're actually going to be covering the two new maps together, and this is going to be Hardhat as well as Isle 9. So let's start off with Hardhat, and right here, this wall here, this power position is one of the most powerful places you can possibly be on this entire map. You can lock down this entire area here where the B domination flag is, and you have the advantage in almost every single one of these gunfights, no matter where they challenge you from over here, or at least it looks that way. I've got a few counter positions for this. The first one is all the way at the back here. This one is going to be best used with a sniper rifle or just an extremely accurate gun of some sort. And with this, what we're going to be doing is just backing ourselves all the way up to the back of the wall here, and then looking over top of this box. Now from here, you can only see the edge of that wall, so they do have to be way over to the right side as they're looking at it in order for you to get a line of sight on them from this area. But if they are over in that spot, you can really easily pick them off from here, and you don't even have to jump on top of anything. You just back up, and there you go. That should give you a nice, clean line of sight. Next up, back in this corner, just a little spot that they often don't expect. If you have enemies that are going to be coming through this area here, and you know they're going to be pushing towards you, maybe you're on a hardpoint location over in this area, instead of just challenging them from down here, which is what they expect, and you're also exposed to that power position over there, what you can do is hop up on the boxes like this, and then look to the left of this pipe right here. And I find this is just great. It usually takes them off guard because when they come around, they're not normally looking upwards. They're going to be looking more so for this area right here. So by the time they adjust their aim, you'll already have the kill on them. Next up, I've got a really interesting spot over here at the back of the trailer by B-Dom. It looks like you have nothing to stand on over in this area, but if you come right up to this corner and you just hit the jump button while pushing forward, you actually pop up on kind of an invisible ledge, and there you go. Gives you a nice line of sight over here. You can also kind of challenge the people on the wall. They do have the slight advantage here. They have slightly better cover on you, but they often don't expect this, so you might be able to take them off guard in that way. It also works for challenging people that are coming through middle over here, so if you're defending the B flag, this is actually a pretty decent spot. Now, moving on to another excellent counter for this wall. This one applies more so if they're around this area of the wall rather than all the way to the right, like that first spot that I showed you. And with this, it's kind of crazy, and it might not be the most practical, but if you ever pull this shot off, it'll be really cool. It's best done with a thermal sight, just so you can see a little bit better. But if you're in the middle map area and you hop up on these cinder blocks right here, there's a small crack in the tarps right there. And if you strafe side to side a little bit, especially with a thermal sight, like I said, you'll be able to see that person sitting up on that power position. And as long as you shoot directly through the crack, you can pick them off through there with a sniper rifle, no problem. Or if you wanted to, you don't even need a thermal sight. You could just hop up in here with like an LMG, for instance, and just spray like crazy in that general area. And if you get a hit marker, keep spraying, and you just might get a kill on somebody there, and they'll have no idea what hit them. Now, getting over to this bulldozer right here, if you have enemies that are going to be coming through the middle area here, and you have that corner locked down, you have this corner locked down, and you want to just challenge this lane, something that you can do is hop up on top of this like that, and then crouch, and that gives you a nice little line of sight over this fence that they don't normally see, and you might be able to pick them off through there. Now, getting over to this sewer pipe here, this is an area of the map I tend to just avoid at all costs. It's not usually a good place to pass through, but I did want to point out, if you did want to lock that down, if you are defending an objective, for instance, and you're expecting enemies to come through there, it's best to jump up on this pipe, I find, and then lay down like this. And the reason for that is if they're going to be walking through this, or crouch walking through this, you will be seeing their legs before they can see you, as long as you're prone. If you're standing, it won't work that way, but if you're prone, you'll see their legs before they can see you, and therefore you gain a significant advantage over them. As for the other side, you could do the same where you lay on top like that, but I actually find it's better to just come all the way back and wedge yourself in this corner like this, and there you go. That gives you a nice line of sight through there, and for them, it's just a very small sliver, and they often won't be able to pick you out through that area. They won't be able to see you as well. They're going to be looking more so in this area, so as they come through, you'll easily be able to pick them off there. Next up, over in this area right here, it looks like you can't jump up into this, and instead, if you want to get up top there, you have to come all the way around to get to them. But I did want to point out, as long as you start off on this area right here, you can actually pretty easily make this jump across, and that might be great if somebody's maybe camping like this area here and you know it. You can easily take them off guard like that. Next up, if you hop up on top of this right here, you can actually use this as great cover looking towards that lower area right there, which is this spot right there. And that's excellent. Again, they won't see that one coming at all. And then finally, from that same spot there, if you back up a little bit, it gives you a great line of sight to the second story, which is excellent instead of coming around this area here and exposing your entire body to them. And this is actually a very common situation on this map. Instead, hop up like that, and there you go. Just a great line of sight to challenge them. And like I always say, they'll never see this one coming. Now, getting back to the vehicle over here, if you are defending the CDOM flag, this is an area that I have seen some people use where they look under the vehicle. I believe the same spot was actually in the original version of Hardhat as well. So just be aware of the people that might be laying down under this area. And if you are worried about that, I'd recommend just blowing this car up. If you blow that up, then it will easily kill them as they're behind that. Just to show you guys, once that car is blown up, they no longer gain that line of sight advantage. So finally, if you are approaching this second floor area right here, instead of coming up the ramp, which is exactly what they expect, they'll be like pre-aiming down here like this. A great way to take those people off guard is to actually jump up on top of this right here and then attack from this direction like that. They just don't normally see that one coming because they just kind of picture that as air above there and nobody could possibly stand up there. So like I said, they're going to be looking down here, and by the time they adjust their aim, you should have the kill on them. So that pretty much covers it for Hardhat. Now I just wanted to show the Easter egg that you can do on Aisle 9. For those of you guys that haven't seen it yet, since it is a small map, I haven't found any really amazing, unique lines of sight. So instead, I just want to include this Easter egg for you. And this involves shooting teddy bears in the correct order around the map. And I will put all the teddy bear locations up on screen right now so you guys can take a screenshot of this. And it makes it a lot easier to track this and remember it. But I can show you the best route, or at least one of the best routes that you can find to do this. Now for this, it's actually great to have a thermal sight because these teddy bears will glow a little bit in the thermal sight and it just makes them a little bit easier to see. You don't need it though. It's not like it's that difficult to do this. It just makes it slightly easier to find them. So the first teddy bear, if you come up to the middle of the map, the back of the truck is basically pointing straight at this teddy bear. It's up on this shelf right here, so you can shoot that one there. Then for the next one, we turn around and we go over to the forklift and you'll see a teddy bear there. Then after that, we turn around once again, or we come around this corner like this, and there will be one in the back of the truck right here. Then after that, we've got one up on the scissor lift right here. You can shoot that there. Then for the next one, you can actually get a line of sight on it from right here. You could shoot it in the head, but I'll just show you guys. It is behind the counter over there. But if we're just trying to do this as efficiently as possible, you just have to turn around and shoot that one in the head right there. Then after that, we continue turning, and you'll see one hiding right on the bottom shelf, and you can shoot that one. After that, we do have to run a little bit here because the next one is in the shopping carts over in this area right here, so you can shoot that. Then for this one, we do have to actually drop down from our little platform that we've been using for all the other ones, and you'll see one hiding right on the top shelf there. And then finally, this leaves us with two more of the teddy bears, and the first one is right here out in the open. Really easy to find this one. And then finally, this one will appear on top of the truck, and when you shoot that, the back of the truck opens. We've got a nice little Easter egg here, the last roll. And you can see the last roll of toilet paper there that is glowing and nice and golden. And with that, that pretty much covers it for everything I wanted to share in today's episode of Maps Exposed. Of course, though, I'm interested in hearing from you guys. What do you guys think about this version of Hardhat within Modern Warfare? How do you think Hardhat plays compared to Modern Warfare 3? Personally, I'm actually really glad that they didn't make too many changes to Hardhat. They really stayed true to the layout of that map, unlike many of the other maps in the game that they have remade. They didn't add any extra areas or anything like that, and they didn't go too crazy with the doors. Like, yeah, there's a couple doors towards the middle of the map, and I'd prefer if they weren't there, but they aren't really game-breaking by any means, and they're not that annoying compared to some of the other maps that they changed completely and just seem to add doors all over the place for no reason. Of course, that's just my opinion though. I'd like to know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this one, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.